Oh, this is taking a dark turn. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
He breaks into the mall on an invisible motorbike.
This is happening over and over again.
He's going to shoot a little stink bomb in Santa's mouth.
Ooh!
A spoonful of honey makes the medicine go down.
Just soften with urine. That was a real present. That was a treat.
Eddie Murphy. Maybe kindness can save the day.
Hello everyone, and Merry Christmas for you.
Ho ho ho.
Yes,
Hey.
yesterday, because this will be coming out on Boxing Day.
Oh,
Nice.
So
Christmas Day plus. Christmas Day with benefits.
yeah, welcome to. I think this should be called "Coming This Christmas."
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Okay.
Oh god.
Come
Yeah.
So welcome to Coming This Christmas. I'm your host Luke Illingworth, and I've got Will South.
Hello.
Nice. And Wooly D.
I'm feeling festive.
Drew Woolnough. I realise I didn't say your proper name.
I forget I have a proper name.
Yeah.
But it's funny that.
Right. So we're going to do a Christmas film today.
Woo!
Nice.
Love it. Love it.
Mm. I have a sort of start of an idea.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys could help me with.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
also have a bones of one that I might just tell you at the end because
Ooh.
I think it's almost there, but I think it's just quite funny. That could be
Okay.
a bonus.
And we came up with a pre-film, didn't we?
Oh yeah, Will's got one as well. We've all got a Christmas. We've all got a little Christmas idea under the tree that we've brought with us today
Well,
to
sure.
show off
And
to
I'll
our friends.
What about if our film is 3 short stories? It could be like a Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
Pulp.
and they could be the Christmas films. The coming this Christmas, past, present, and future.
Oh,
Is our Christmas Carol is our three
Yeah.
ideas stuck together, and it's us learning to work together.
I think
Yeah.
my
Christmas
story
message.
then would definitely be the present or the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
mine could be past.
Cool. Well, should we go with yours first, Pil, and then
I'm
we'll
gonna go
see?
with mine first.
Yeah. We'll see.
My
We'll see
one-
what we get.
I thought about a little kid finds out he's on the naughty list, and
Oh.
he,
No one wants that.
yeah, I know, right? So instead of he thinks he can cheat it by breaking into Father Christmas's house and just switching the names, you know.
You what?
Yeah.
You fucking what?
Yeah, I
He
know,
sees you
right?
when you're sleeping.
It's unbelievable.
He knows when you're awake.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Who's this kid think he is?
Yeah. But yeah,
Messing with this omnipotent being.
There's your logic hole right there, Pilnar. Idea out. Gone. No, carry on.
How is this kid getting to Santa's house?
Well,
'Cause
that's
if I'm right
that's
thinking,
one
it's
problem
all
I'm
better.
thinking of is does he go to like the actual Santa's house, like in the North Pole,
Or what, he goes to
Or-
like a grotto at a
Yeah,
at like a Christmas market or something.
local Father Christmas? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he should find himself. He didn't know that he was on the naughty list until after he'd submitted his letter to Santa,
right.
and he wants to try and get this letter back before it goes to Santa, and he ends up on the post van that goes to the
How incredulous you were about that. The post van?
Yeah. We'll let the logistics team worry about that. But
Yeah. We're ideas people. We're not we're not the logic guys.
I
so
thought-
I can imagine a scene where you just start to see his feet disappear into a big post bag, and the van shuts.
Or well, maybe you could do. Yeah, so he goes to his local Father Christmas to get his letter back. That's where he finds out where the actual Father Christmas lives, and jumps in in the post bag, and then he's on his way to.
So
Lapland.
I know this is my idea, and I have no background to back it up as such. But why does he not need the letter to go to Santa?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's our first question.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe he needs to follow the letter.
Maybe it's almost like a breakup letter. Maybe he has found somehow. Maybe he goes to the shop Santa, and that's where, and then he thinks that shop Santas are all kind of bullshit, and he kind of sneaks up. He's obviously he's a naughty kid. He's a bit of a Bart Simpson, if you remember him. Everyone, he's waiting behind, like maybe in the backstage area, whatever they have. And he's got his little slingshot in his back blue pockets, his blue short pockets, and he's gonna shoot a little stink bomb in Santa's mouth. But then he overhears them talking about the real Santa, and he's saying, and he says, that kid will get his comeuppance. He's on the naughty list. And he's like, no fucking way. And he gets so pissed off that this kid gets blind drunk and writes. He gets absolutely wasted.
He gets like a sugar rush on candy.
Yeah, exactly. He eats too many candy canes, and he writes this scathing letter to Santa that he can't remember what he wrote. It's basically like Road Trip meets Polar Express.
Yeah. How about
that? So he has to get it back before Santa reads it and makes him even further down the naughty list. Is what I mean. Yeah.
If we skip forward to the end of the film, just slightly, and I know that this isn't like, it's not going to give anything away because it's not actually a plot yet, but the letter should actually turn out to be like a really heartfelt, like, oh, this is why kids don't believe in Santa anymore and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh no, that's a great idea. It's not the whole journey. He assumes that he was so angry that he wrote something horrible that's going to get him in even worse, even badder books. But he actually just kind of wrote the most open and honest and adult thing. It's about him growing up and accepting responsibility.
Like the letter is so nice that he gets on the nice list.
Yeah, that's yeah.
It's got because it's got to have some sort of happy ending for our little Christmas film. It's got to be kind of have some darkness and kind of bad stuff happens along the way, but in the end, we think he's done, but he gets a little Christmas miracle at the end.
Yeah. It's kind of like this is sort of like Indiana Jones. Whereas if he'd just left it, it would have all been fine.
Yeah,
the same thing would have happened.
Yeah. Does he have to close his eyes when Santa opens his sack? He can't. Don't look at it.
But I guess this way, if he goes, so like shit should happen to him on the way. I don't know. Maybe he finds a injured elf or something.
Yeah, he maybe assembles a little crew.
Yeah, he starts being nice. I was thinking this kid could be like dirt rich, and that's why. That's why he's
be rich.
Yeah, like that kind of rich, and that's why he's on the naughty list because he's just selfish.
He's rich. It's also a film about the inequality in different classes as well.
It's like a rich social commentary film.
Yeah.
Can we call our lead character, because this is the cross I have in my head, can we call him Dennis the Rich?
Yeah. Dennis the Rich.
Dennis the Rich.
Okay,
played by Macaulay Culkin now.
Yeah.
But he's convinced he's had a comeback film in between this, and he's convinced that he could method act as himself when he was 10 or whatever. Get the magic back.
And his trusty sidekick dog. Oh, come here, Nashar.
Come here, Nashar. Nashar.
Nashar. And Nashar is played obviously by Andy Serkis.
Because he's got to be in. It's the Christmas special, so we've got to get all of our special guests in at some point. So, yes, Andy Serkis can be Nashor darling.
Nashor darling.
Nashor darling. Yeah.
Can Tom Hanks, if we keep the post van, can he be the postman?
Postman.
But he wears some contact lenses to make his eyes look as dead as they did in Polar Express. Make him look kind of glassy and weird.
What if he's a FedEx man, and the plane crashes, and that's just sort of like
Castaway.
Castaway, and then he goes away and does Castaway. And
Yeah.
Now we're over here to try and get my letter back.
And then that's cheaper as well, because we can just take clips from Castaway and then just superimpose Dennis the Rich into them and just do some overdubs and lines.
And maybe just have a little bit of like snow on this tropical island where the snow is.
And as Dennis the Rich walks off and Tom Hanks is no longer in frame, we hear him. Someone doing an impression of him off screen goes, "Oh, gee, I'm a real castaway."
At the end. Sorry.
There's a football here. Let's call it Wilson.
No, I was going to say it should be at the end. All the kids are getting a present, but one kid doesn't get the football that he asked for.
No, but what it should be is it should be the packet should be a football shaped wrapper. He opens it, but there's nothing in it.
It's Tom Hanks's head. Wilson,
no.
Yeah, that sounds great. Who's going to be Santa?
Santa?
Yeah, who's going to play Santa?
Do you know what? I think we could try and I don't know.
What about him? Oh shit.
Has Ant Hop? Has he been a Santa?
Andy
Hop. Vincent D'Onofrio and Andy, maybe both of them in different scenes.
Yeah.
They're both great. Anthony Hopkins and Vincent D'Onofrio. That'd be awesome.
Maybe we can have two, but one's Santa and one's the anti-Santa who's just called Anta.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely got. And yeah, so he, an Anta Claus. Yeah, so maybe he can, along his adventures, like we get maybe somewhere in the second act, he thinks he's found his way to the North Pole, and he thinks, "Oh, all right, this is going to be easy. It's all nice here. Everyone's kind," and he's trying to break in there, and then that's when we realise he's in the evil North Pole, and we don't. Maybe he doesn't.
South Pole.
The evil North Pole, otherwise known as the South Pole.
He's gone the wrong way round. Tom Hanks is bloody taking in the wrong bloody direction.
And all of these characters that are really nice, they're just like really darkly nice, you know.
Really sinister.
Really
nice.
Passive aggressive.
And have some pie.
There's no poison in it.
Eat this cupcake.
Eat this cupcake. It will give you AIDS. So when he goes there, he it's not like they say. It says on like a sign that it's the wrong North Pole. It's like the South Pole or something. We just assume that all the stories are wrong and Santa's actually evil until the end, where the twist is that Santa comes and saves him.
Yeah.
How about that?
I like that.
I think that's great, and I also think that at that point, when Santa saves him, he should bring up a big long line of paper, 2 long lines of paper. And it should be the naughty list and the nice list. And then Santa should take his own name off the naughty list and put it on the nice list. Right, that's my good deed.
That's my good deed for the year.
But Santa, why were you on the naughty list? Let's not talk about it, Dennis. You're a little too young for that.
Think about it, Dennis.
And then you can hear Nashor, darling, go.
Yeah. And Santa goes, he gets it. Oh, this is taking a dark turn.
Yeah, dark turn.
I'm not
entirely
sure what this film genre is now.
That one bit.
That can be set. Oh no, that would have to be present because it's got FedEx.
Because it's got presents in it.
Well, it could be in the 90s, so that's the past. Castaway was in the 96, 97?
Yeah.
That's the past.
Okay, yeah.
Fine.
All right.
Let's go too far.
Okay, so that's the past. Cool. So what's your two's ideas?
So what?
Are we going to make these films mix into one? Or?
I think maybe they should just be little vignettes. They're just little chapters.
Yeah.
And maybe we have a wrap up at the end that stars us.
Yeah.
So it's our vanity project. We're going to direct these ones.
It's like a Simpsons Halloween special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Simpsons. We call it a Simpsons Christmas Celine special.
Or maybe it could just be our Christmas box set.
Mm.
Like, you know how you get like films directed by the Coen brothers, in the trilogy, and they're not related to each other whatsoever.
Right. Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
And we've just instantly made our own box set because we want to make extra money at Christmas. So we don't want to make one film. We make
I don't
three.
know why Coen Brothers are taking so long to make so many good films. We're going to do 3 in like an hour.
We'll shit this right out. As long as it takes to talk about it, it gets made somehow. Andy Serkis is on the blower with Michael Cera in another Skype call, and they're ready. They're working on scripts.
When are they never just waiting next to the phone?
Oh God, yeah. Like did anyone, listeners, did you know who Andy Serkis was before we championed him? No. God, no.
And he got
nothing.
He was, and now he's what's his face, Snoke in Star Wars, and everyone knows that.
Is he? All right, then what's your guys' film?
Drew, because obviously you know my one, and you know yours, but I don't know yours. So what do you reckon would fit better in the 2 categories that we've got left?
Well, yours is a bit, I guess, the future. If we're going Christmas Carol, the future is the darkest bit, and I think yours is the darkest, and it's also the most sci-fi. So maybe yours is the future. So
okay,
mine's quite light-hearted and action packed. All right. So my idea, I was trying to think of some Christmassy things earlier today, and I was thinking of all these different Christmas elements, and then I thought about so what people quintessentially think of some of their favorite Christmas elements, or less favorite, but I'll get to that. So this is a bit of a mashup film. So basically, my idea is that Cliff Richard is Mr. Christmas he can't get any work, so he's working as a mall Santa, and he's a bit grouchy, so some would call him a bit of a bad Santa. And what happens is one day, some terrorists who actually turn out to be robbers come in to rob the mall, and he gets stuck in there during a performance as Santa Claus. And there's no cops to come and help him, and he has to find a way to save the hostages. And I think we can work in some other Christmas films there as well. But basically, it's Die Hard that Cliff Richard is the star. And his best friends are talking mince pie that's claymation.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Directed by Ron Howard.
Because it could be like some of the hostages would be kids, so he would have to stay in character the whole time.
Yeah.
So trying to negotiate with the terrorists, but talking like this.
And he's also trying to negotiate with his agent to get a better paycheck for his year's advent calendar that he's going to do. So in between all of the action, he's trying to negotiate not only with terrorists but with something far scarier, his agent, his publicist, to get a better deal.
I've got 2 things, yeah. So as this is the present one, can we do it so that there's something in there that as he walks into the mall, something happens and it triggers a loop like Groundhog Day, and he keeps having to save this mall over and over again from these terrorist robbers.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe like there could be someone each day who's like shaking this snow globe, and it's like doing a swirly thing, and maybe it shatters, and the trick is he actually has to stop it from shattering. Yeah. So in each loop, somebody else might have it because of the events that he changed beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he can. The clues that he gets is on the previous year's calendar of him. The pic just changes slightly every time. So he's in there negotiating with his agent at like almost the end of each loop, and he's like, "No, I've got to do it in a pink shirt." And then it's like the Jan 2008 or 19 or whatever it is, just has him like in June, like wearing like I don't know, Hawaiian shorts or something. And
yeah, that's amazing. I was another idea is that maybe a benevolent force is trying to help him. Some force in the universe, maybe Santa Claus, maybe Christmas magic, something is trying to help him figure out what to do. And they're sending a coded message back, and the code has to be worked out by looking at, because the calendar changes a bit every time he goes back. He has to look through the calendar and he has to note down the first word of the color of the silk shirt that he's wearing in each month, and then put all those months together, and through that code he works out the message that he's stuck in a time loop, and he figures out how it, and it also trains him on martial arts and using guns.
And how about after getting this message at the end, he reads like a little note that he has to make the performance of his lifetime to this small mall crowd.
He has to melt the icy heart of these robbers in order to get them all out. Yeah, and that will reunite him with his estranged son, his estranged wife, and whoever else he might be estranged to.
If he sings,
his publicist.
He sings "Summer Holiday" because that's the summer song. I was going to say Summer Holiday. That will melt. That will melt the icy heart.
And then immediately afterwards, he starts singing "Mistletoe and Wine," and they start to ice up again. Everyone's like, "No, stop it, Rich! You had it. Chill out, mate."
Yeah.
And like he all this time he's obviously, as we've said, got to be Santa Claus, so the kids don't freak out.
Yeah.
And then that's finally when everyone realizes it's Cliff Richard, because he starts singing "Summer Holiday."
Yeah, and the kids are even more excited. They go, "It wasn't Santa, it was Cliff Richard." And then just one kid kind of looks around and says, "What? Who?" And that's the end of the film. I just thought as well, another way to work in another Christmas element is maybe this enchanted snow globe or whatever that starts the time loop. That can be cursed by the Krampus. The whole thing is a Krampus and so he warms the hearts of the robbers with the song, but at the end the Krampus turns up, and that's when he has to shoot the Krampus out of a skyscraper window so that it falls off and say something funny. Is it with like this like Christmas confetti cannon or something? Exactly. Yeah, he shoots out his Oh no! Yeah. Or maybe he rolls up one of his calendars and smashes it over the head. The thickest calendar yet. The thickest one, yeah. And that gives him the confidence and assertion to renegotiate his contract to get a better bonus for his new calendar. And a happy ending for all. Should we pick names at the end? For all three at the end? Because we didn't get a name for yours, Pildan. Oh yeah, let's do it at the end.
Yeah. So we need a name for the whole thing, and then the individual stories.
Okay. So who's gonna, if we cast it? So we need, who's gonna be head robber, his wife, maybe his child, and Krampus. Who would you cast as them? Oh, and also the talking mince pie. Who's gonna voice that? Oh yeah. I kind of think Andy Serkis would be miffed if he didn't get that part, but we're not going to give him that. I feel like Michael Cera should voice it.
I was just thinking Michael Cera would be a good
I'll tell you what.
I'm so minced.
What would be great is if because obviously we're putting all of these in production. My pastry. So crumbly. Oh, so flaky, claymation-y. What am I doing?
Oh, cinnamon.
Oh yeah, I was going to carry on, Wilsey.
So maybe because obviously we want to get this out for Christmas.
Yeah.
All these productions are going into production right at the time.
We're going to start sharing cast.
Yeah, we can't start sharing cast because they've all got to be working. Exactly
they're all on different sets. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to pick different casts for this.
Because we could have in my one, there's the shop Father Christmas that he goes to.
Yeah,
that could be Cliff Richard as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so they all tie in. So the extended universe.
Tie into this. Yeah.
But you don't know it.
Yeah, it's really subtle.
It's like a Stephen King thing, where it's an extended universe, but you just don't realise.
Yeah. You don't see that they were all in it until the end. And we have cheesy 80s style credits, kind of like the end of Predator or the end of Breakfast Club or something, where their names come up and they kind of turn, and in little free boxes with free boxes for each film, the actor turns round and looks at the camera in a different cheesy, douchey way.
All right,
Cliff Richard, and it's him going, "Ew, ew."
Can that be on an extra fourth disc right at the end? The credits are on a completely separate disc.
Yeah.
But you have to put in, and all it is the credits.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got extortionate box sets are a part of Christmas as well. So I think we're just adding to the festive season if we do that. Yeah, amazing. Brilliant. Right. So we've got Michael Cera as the mince pie. The claymation mince pie. Cliff Richard.
Cliff.
Who's going to be his wife?
Oh, his wife?
Mm.
How old is Cliff Richard?
He's old, man.
But he could, any woman.
He could have any woman he wanted.
He could, totally, obviously.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah. She wants to branch out in her acting, and she wants to play. She doesn't even want to play his wife age appropriate. She wants to play his wife as though she was a 40-year-old woman.
Yeah.
So she has like kind of like lame prosthetics like they had at the end of the Harry Potter film, where it's just like a little bit of wrinkle on her and a tiny bit of grey in her hair. And she walks with a little hunch.
Any time in Star Trek when they needed to make somebody older than they actually were.
Yeah, they just put a little bit of film. Yeah, just a little tiny bit of latex film over them, and it's just Kristen Stewart as his wife. Well, she does have a thing for ancient men. Let's not forget.
She's been out
ancient men. Who could be? I reckon the Krampus and the robber should be played by the same person. It'll turn out the main robber is the Krampus.
Eddie Murphy.
Ooh,
I like that, mate.
I could see that.
Can you? Oh, cool.
Well done, Will.
Can you? Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Moving on.
He ain't done a film for a while, has he?
Yeah, and he likes playing multiple roles.
Yeah, he's used to it.
He could play the child as well.
Maybe like we can have little subtle hints, like we don't know it's him. We don't know it's actually supposed to be him, or it's not him in the film or whatever. And like people are going along and they're like, "Oh, there's the robber. He calls himself the Professor." And somebody goes, "Oh, nutty Professor."
Yeah, every scene with him ends with an Eddie Murphy.
Well, there could be, because they're in like a mall, there could be a bit where he gets loads of nuts stuck on him. It's kind of like a Home Alone-esque prank. Like he gets covered in glue in one shop and then goes to another, the nut shop, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah.
The local nut shop.
Oh, the Nut Emporium.
Could it be the Nut and Glue Shop?
The nut and
glue.
shop,
Yeah.
They sell together.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, he becomes the nutty professor.
And maybe his second in command, who's a bit like Starscream in Transformers, is like they're having an argument because things are going south. And he's also he forgets he's a professor, and he calls him a doctor. He says,
Oh, shit.
and he calls it doctor. You're not doing very much, are you, Dr. Doolittle? And they look at him, whoa, look at the camera for a beat, and then look back. And then at the end of the film, he just goes, "Oh, Norbert."
Give me a bit where he's like screams, and he just goes, "Shrek!"
Yes.
And just a really offhand comment, and he says, I don't know, "Oh, we've got to get over to the middle of the mall, Beverly Hills Cop," and
the mall music can be playing, you know, because they sometimes have like stock music CDs playing a Christmas version of the Beverly Hills Cop, but it's just played on sleigh bells.
But Crazy Frog style.
The Crazy Frog one as well. Yeah, maybe that the clue, an added thing is that the Eddie Murphy robber, instead of wearing a sharp suit like a Hans Gruber, he's wearing like a bomber jacket with the Crazy Frog on it, and a Crazy Frog on the. He's just in a vest, naked, and he's got a pilot hat on, goggles.
He breaks into the mall on an invisible motorbike.
Yeah.
So he's going. Then as he walks off, he just goes.
Can do we need to flesh out his group a little bit with some like ancillary characters that just don't, their story never goes anywhere? In fact, the point of them is that they have a little bit of a story, and then people at the end are going to be like, what was the point in those? Where was that? They never finished that story.
Yeah, there can be like a relationship blooming between two of his gang, and they just disappear at some point.
Yeah.
Could one of them could have left the oven on or something, and they have to finish this up to go turn the oven off.
Yeah, in the middle of the last action scene, they go, "Hang on, I left the oven on. I've got to go now."
No, I mean like it's like really tense, and like whether he's going to get back to it. He could keep cutting back to his oven, and then
we have like 6 or 7 storylines.
His turkey's in the oven like that, but we just never find out what happens. Or maybe there's like it sort of pans out, like, and you get a shot of the town, and just one of the houses is on fire.
It just blows up.
And a turkey comes whizzing through.
Can that guy be the tall blonde guy from Starship Troopers?
Neil
what?
Patrick
Not the main
Harris.
one. Which one? The guy with the crazy eyes.
The one who plays the fiddle.
Oh, Gary Busey's son.
Is that
Larry
well,
Busey?
Larry Busey.
Barry Busey.
Barry and Gary. I don't know what his real name is.
Yeah.
Give him a
Probably
shout.
Barry, Larry,
Give him
Terry.
a shout out. His real name is Jake.
Jake Busey, you beauty.
Jake Busey, you booty.
Oh, you.
Why don't we make that whole gang like his gang? Casper.
Yeah.
All the guys from Starship Troopers.
They're all his gang.
Oh yeah. So we have Diz and we have Rico. We get Michael Ironside in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they that Eddie Murphy Crazy Frog has hired this group of robbers who are also Starship Troopers enthusiasts who just keep in character, but they're also the actors. remember, this is happening over and over again.
Oh, I forgot that was the film.
So we've got Eddie Murphy doing almost exactly the same stuff in every iteration of this storyline.
I completely forgot that was the film.
Hey, this makes it
All right.
better. This is my
Brilliant.
favourite. Okay, right.
Right, that one's done.
We've got it.
Yeah.
We've got our present now to the future.
That was a real present. That was a treat. Especially that end. Wow.
What I'm thinking
Take us to the future, Will.
For the future, like it's inspired by every time we try and Skype call to do this this podcast. And I originally had I said to Drew, we could make a film, and I know that the name is already out there, so obviously we'll have to pick another name. But my initial title for it would have been Frozen, and it's just about people in the future who can't get together for some reason for Christmas, have to talk electronically to each other, but there's this Christmas curse going around where they get frozen on screen, but that's where they are forever until somebody can figure it out.
Oh, God.
And maybe kindness can save the day.
Yeah, it can be a squabbling family that they figure out that as each one gets more angry or more petty and resentful, that's when they freeze. And it's only by being kind to each other. But maybe there's some reason that they're all, something bad's happened in the past that it takes a lot to forgive them for. So that's why it's hard for them to be nice. But we don't know. It kind of unfolds over the narrative what actually happened in the past, something really bad that this main character has to forgive this person for.
It could be like Gremlins, right? And you know where the dad buys the Mogwai from?
Yeah.
Maybe this one family can all get this one bit of technology from the same shop, and obviously the mystical man or woman who works in there, like can obviously has all these items, and they're cursed specifically for this family, that if they become selfish or horrible in any way to each other, then they become frozen through this technology. But the shop where they get this, I don't know, certain camera or certain piece of software from, is in the mall where Cliff Richard is the Santa, and you can see it.
And you can see the snow globe sitting there as well.
Yeah,
because that's where the snow globe's from.
He could be really, really old as well now, because in the future, he's just like,
oh yeah,
and all the kids are scared of him, and he's just, come on, kids.
But he's ironically, he's gotten like way nicer as Santa Claus, but everyone's terrified of him because he's too old.
Like his trousers are like round his ankle. Not like just because he can't pull them up. He's just fucking naked. He's completely knackered.
He's just sopping with urine, and he's just the best. But he's so lovely. The parents feel so both bad for him. They're just pushing their kids towards it, and they're like, "Oh, I remember when he saved Christmas that is that far in the future they were kids. I remember when he saved Christmas that year. Go on, kids, give him a hug. We'll give you a hot shower when we get back. Don't worry."
Going, no.
Smells.
Maybe in the shop. And this is probably the first instance in this trilogy of films where you see the shop like stuff in it. You can see there's the leather goggles that Eddie Murphy has are in a display cabinet. And,
the one that ties it all in.
Yeah, and then there's the, I don't know, something to do with the bad Santa is in there somewhere.
A calendar. The calendar that you beat Krampus to death with.
Oh, no.
The Wilson football.
It could be a stuffed Nashor.
Tom Hanks' head. A what, sorry? A stuffed Nashor. Yes. I love it. Maybe, maybe this final thing, one of the characters can be a grown up, not the main character, but one of the characters can be grown up Dennis the Rich, maybe. Or connected to him somehow. Well, sorry? He founded it.
He founded the technology, and he's been roped back in to try and figure out why these families are being frozen. And he goes around to their house. He goes around to the people's houses who have used this technology and are frozen, and can see that they're actually frozen in the same.
Are you saying they're sort of like holograms? So it could start with it's just like a big family having a meal, and then one of them freezes, and that's when you realise all of them are holograms that are being projected into there but they're all in their own homes.
Yeah. And they're literally
like that film with Bruce Willis. Is it Bruce Willis? Not Die Hard. There's another film, and they're all plugged in.
Oh, 12 Monkeys? I haven't seen it.
It's a more recent one. It might not have Bruce Willis in. It might be called Plugged In. I don't know.
Called Plugged In.
Plugged In.
I don't know. Looper? Nah.
So
right.
Dennis the Rich.
Dennis the Rich has to come in. He can come in late in the day, and he gets he turns up because in like a horror film they always have. They'll often have an expert they try and contact, or like the woman in Poltergeist that they bring in towards the end. He's that character in this film.
Can she come in and save the day?
No, Dennis the Rich, it's too big for him, so he calls the woman from Poltergeist. And he literally said it's in his phone. It's the woman from Poltergeist.
Yeah. So, I've seen this before. You want to turn it on and off again? That's all it is.
You just got to whack it. No, you're saying that being nice brings it back to life.
Yeah.
So would it be something like everyone's horrible to this person that's frozen, or?
No, it's the person who gets frozen. They start acting. They start acting the worst.
Right.
If you see what I mean.
So then
they're like,
how do they then be nice to come out of it?
No, somebody. I think. Yeah.
Good point. I think maybe just being. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. But maybe just like being kind to each other will bring them out of it. If you know what I mean. Maybe that's just. I see what you mean. It's a bit of a logic hole.
But what if it was?
I think it should be what.
You
think
it's something horrible, but you gradually find out that it was for a good reason.
It was a forced rest. They were all too stressed. So then, and Dennis the Rich made them sleep for a bit so that they felt invigorated.
So then now it's not considered like a bad thing to do because everyone that it was bad to now realizes it was actually good for them.
Yeah.
And that's
so it can start off as this sort of malevolent force where people are freezing, and is it because they're being nasty to each other, and then you find out actually it's just because they needed a reset for Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, that can be the tragedy of this one, is that they think it's a foe that needs to be defeated, and they're kind of we have a big showdown with Dennis the Rich and the woman from Poltergeist. Yeah. And maybe the mince pie as well, just to throw it in at the last minute. They're in like a 2000 they're in like a 2001 style kind of mainframe room, and they're powering the system down, and it has and then that's when you kind of figure out it has sentience, and it starts to tell them what it's been doing, but they've already gone too far and they've killed it, and it ends on a really sad note.
Merry Christmas.
Is the people who have been frozen are quite aware that they're still alive, but they learn to be happy within themselves, and they realise that they don't need anything, so all their avarice and greed has sort of just disappeared. And
that's when they come out. The only way to come out of it is when that goes away.
Yeah.
So they keep popping up. So they pop out at the end. But yeah, as you say, that's just when they've gotten rid of all their greed and selfishness and resentment, and they've kind of learnt to, accept themselves and others. They come out of it as better people.
I think they should pop out of the end like they pop out of John Malkovich. Malkovich, when they just fly out of midair and just
their hologram just shoots up. They shoot out of their hologram, the physical person. Yeah.
Like a butterfly emerging from a cocoon.
Yeah. Oh, it's
except
very
naked and slimy.
Yeah, they've got to be naked and slimy.
All their clothes are dissolved, and they're
they don't need any clothes anymore. They've got some Christmas tattoos all over them to hide their shame.
What if this ends with everyone putting down the machine that is making them holograms or whatever with their families, and they just go and see them in real life?
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yes. And then the machine says, "My work here is done," and flies off into space.
My work here is done.
And it flies off, and then castaway Tom Hanks is hanging on there, going, "What have I gone in myself into now?"
Blast away.
I got so excited that I had to slam something with my hand, and I really hurt my finger. Yes. And that's the first Christmas film of our next year's six DVD box.
Tom Hanks takes Christmas to another planet as Castaway. So in this film, there are a few details I think we need to have as well, like Dennis the Rich needs to have it's fucking ridiculous. Needs to have Cliff Richard's calendar hanging on the wall, but from the year that Cliff Richard saved them all.
Yeah, so the last one is him looking sexy as Santa Claus.
Yeah.
So that's when he finally does the full Santa and accepts who he is.
Yeah. Who's going to play adult Dennis the Rich?
Who's playing
young Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah, it could just be Macaulay Culkin, yeah. It's just
again,
he's just in a really big suit that doesn't fit him, and his arms are all...
when they watch the first film, they don't. Everyone's like, "What the fuck is Macaulay Culkin playing the 10-year-old? Doesn't make any sense." And then they see that last film, they go, "Oh, now I get it. It's for continuity." So who else have we got? Who are the main players? So Dennis the Rich is coming in, but there's the family.
The family.
So,
so I guess you'd have
like mum, dad, couple of kids, grandmum or something like that.
I think grandma or grandpa should be the first to freeze.
I was thinking that
because they just don't get it, and they get angry with it.
I don't get it, Billy.
Come here, Billy.
Someone could be like halfway through their cracker joke, so they start the cracker joke and then they freeze. And then when they come out, they tell the punchline, and everyone's like, "What?" And
yeah.
And they get the digital doctor to come around and take a look, and the doctor's just in is a hologram as well to come check the hologram.
Yeah,
and
it could be
the hologram freezes because it just gets so like discontent with all the.
Can it be a crossover with another of our films? And the hologram doctor is played by Jim Carrey, and it's called Dr. J. Honey.
Oh, no.
And it's just a little cameo. There's a little cameo in there.
And just the slogan for that film would be "A spoonful of honey makes the medicine go down."
Right. I think because this is going to be potentially Frozen, or I'd like to pitch it should be Frozen without the O and with the E turned into a 3, so that some people will just go in because they think it's Frozen free. So they buy it because they think it's the bird. But because it's Frozen, can it be the mum can be Kristen Bell?
Yeah.
Isn't that's her from Frozen? The one who's in The Good Place?
Yeah.
Kristen Bell? Yeah, she could be the mum, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yep.
She'd be a good mum.
Who's the dad?
Adam Scott.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Adam Scott. He was great in Krampus. And Adam Scott.
Yes.
What did we really not do, Poddo?
Really sort of establish characters, what these people are like. So it could be anyone, you know.
Yeah, so it could be. It's basically just this family are kind of stressed out. Maybe they're, dad's or mum's like working all the time, super stressed. Maybe she's a lawyer or someone like that. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, she's really and the dad's like maybe he's an actor or something like that, or he's like he thinks like he's kind of he thinks he's like loving and nice, but he's selfish in his own way because he's off doing his own thing, and he's like, oh, I need to be there for my art sort of thing, or I'm doing this play that's in New York, it's too important not to do or something. And the kids, one could be a bit spoiled, and one could just be kind of resentful of the other one because they're
could be a bully.
Or a bit of a bully,
to other kids.
Well, I thought of like if you had like a teen girl, it could be that girl from that Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh, I can't remember her name.
Girl.
I'll look it up. You think of the other kid.
It's like a weird name, isn't it?
Yeah. Think who the other, maybe like a younger kid for the next one, but I'll look her up.
So the thing with child actors is you don't really know them, do you? Because they're only
they're new, they're
started out,
Jacob Tremblay. Everyone talks about him. He was in that film Room. He's going to be the new Predator. Apparently, he's good. I haven't seen him. Jacob Tremblay.
I was thinking the kid in Goonies who does the truffle shuffle.
Oh yeah, that can be our season, our classic mocap performance where adult him is playing young him.
Yeah.
And they call him Chunk as well.
Yeah.
I'm sold on that.
Yeah. So what about Nan?
Oh, her name is Dylan Galula. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right.
Galula.
Dylan Galula. There we go.
The Nan's
Kristen Wiig.
She's just like a really old woman.
Really old, but like properly old. Someone who's retired.
Jessica Lange from American Horror Story.
Ooh.
She's good. I don't know if she's retired, but she is pretty old, but very good.
She's good.
Pretty old.
I didn't mean it that way, but
It's pretty good. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, I like
maybe
that.
her. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I think there's probably just one more we need for this, and that's the salesman in the shop or the saleswoman in the shop.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh god.
I
Maybe
don't want to sound too like stereotyping here, but is the man going to be an old Chinese man?
It could be Jackie Chan.
It
Yeah,
could
could
be.
I think if that guy is going to be Jackie Chan, we need to utilise having Jackie Chan.
I tell you what.
Or we make it another guy. What about thingy?
Herbert.
What's his fucking name? Ken Jeong.
Yeah.
Yes, have it Ken Jeong. And I was going to say...
He could just do a scene and be fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, he could be... At the start of the film, we should have one of those kind of... an intro, like the old Treehouse of Horrors, where they were doing the kind of Hitchcock type thing, where Marge comes out in front of a red curtain. We have him...
Yeah.
We have Ken Jeong do a little introduction at the start of the first section. And so people are like, what the fuck does that mean? Then you see him in the last one, and you realise it's all connected, because that shop is where it all connects.
Maybe the shop. Maybe he has to go behind, like to the back of the shop to get something, and it pans round, and in order to get to the back of the shop, he has to open a red curtain to get to the back.
And then you see behind the curtain the audience.
Yeah.
You see us.
Yeah.
There's whoever's bought the DVD, it inserts you into it, or there's a camera attached.
And then it's got a close up of him. It's got a close up of his hand on stage with a crystal fucking snow globe thing, and he shakes it.
Ah.
And then it goes Rosebud.
It goes Bobo.
What are we calling this film?
All right, so we've got to name them all.
We need to name them all.
Well, I was thinking earlier when it's like the shop and it's all of the things, we could call it The Little Shop of Christmas. Not super funny, but it would work. Because it's kind of like Little Shop of Horrors.
There's something that we said while we were describing this particular film, and I thought it was great for the title, but then I've forgotten it now. Should we go from... What's the start one going to be called?
Yeah, let's go through. So are you guys happy with, should we call it all Little Shop of Christmas, or is there something better? That's just kind of fairly standard. What do you guys think? Come up with something better.
I think it should. How about coming this winter, or coming this December, coming this Christmas, the entire box set?
Yeah, coming this Christmas.
We can have it as the podcast name and the name of the trilogy.
Yeah,
because you've got the disc with the credits on.
Coming this credits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could do it as a Christmas tradition, as though this box, there's going to be a new one every Christmas. So it's just Coming This Christmas, Volume 1.
Yeah.
Next year we'll come up with Volume 2. We'll do a few more.
And on the third year it'll be great, because what we'll do initially is release Coming This Christmas Volume 3, which will have the 3, and then 2 weeks after that's gone on sale, we'll have Coming This Christmas, the 3 box sets all in one.
Yeah.
So,
in 2 different versions. One's called Coming This Christmas, the trilogy, and then it's Coming This Christmas, years 1 to 3.
Yeah.
But we'll just call it all Coming This Christmas. I like it.
Christmas,
yeah.
Wicked.
And that's the last thing that Ken Jeong says before the first one starts. He just he looks at the camera wryly, because he knows he knows they're all fans of Coming This Summer, and he goes, "So, Coming This Christmas," and then the curtain opens.
Yeah.
And the film starts.
Yeah.
It's just like Chapter 1, and then what's the title? What is it?
I don't know.
I thought that's going to work. I thought it was just going to come out.
Yeah. Why don't we just call them Past, Present, and Future?
Nah.
Because that's lame.
Nah. Just as you said it, you just nah.
Well, I think I've got a working title for the middle one.
Go on.
Right, go on.
Something to do like a Rolly Good Cliffmas.
Okay.
Father Christmas.
Father Cliffmas.
What about Mistletoe and Wine? Isn't that a
Mistletoe and Crime.
Yeah,
that's it.
Mistletoe and Crime.
Mistletoe and Crime.
Mistletoe and
Right.
Crime.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
What's the first one? What is the first film? I forgot it.
It's about the naughty and nice list.
What about something Merry Listmas? It's about being on the naughty list.
Maybe they could all be versions of like plays on Christmas song names. You've got Mistletoe and Crime.
Listletoe and wine.
So not only are they plays on a Christmas song, they're plays on the same Christmas song. Right, they committed to that. They committed to that now.
And then what's your one about? Holograms, Holly Jolly Christmas.
The holograms and the ivy. Wait, what's your first one called?
What?
Is it? What's the first one called?
Mistletoe and wine.
It's called Mistletoe.
No. No, it could just be Listmas.
Merry Listmas. We wish you a Merry Listmas.
Yeah, there you go.
And then someone's crossed out Merry and written naughty.
Yeah.
Like in crayon, like a kid. Yeah.
And now we're left with the easy task of trying to fit like hologram into something.
Well, it's definitely hologram or something.
Holograms. Frozen 3. Freezy the Snowman.
And the family can be called Freezing the Snowmans. And the family can be called the Snowmans.
Yeah.
Rod Snowman and Tilda Snowman.
Freezing
Tiffany
the
Snowman and Bart Snowman.
Freezing the
Snowman. Family. And maybe the grandma can be called Hilda Snowman.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, and then the whole thing is called Coming This Summer, Volume 1. Coming this Christmas.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Right.
So what are the 3 films we've got?
I've forgotten.
We wish you a naughty Listmas.
We wish you a naughty Listmas.
Mistletoe and Crime.
That's my favorite.
And
Freezing the Snowman.
Or can we go? We'll make it Can we call it like Frosting the Snowmans? Can we make
Frosting the Snowman.
Frosting the Snowman. Just freezing this. It's Frosty the Snowman's. It's close enough. Does that make any sense?
But maybe in the film they could just refer to freezing as frosting.
Yeah. No one says freezing.
He's completely frosted solid.
Someone's about to say Someone's about to say freeze, and then someone else cuts over and says frosted. But mum, grandma's entirely frosted. Yes, she is. I don't know why. They couldn't get the rights to say freezing. It's like a legal issue.
No. How about like there could be like a bit of legal paragraph at the start of the film, just saying that all rights were taken by Disney to any word that is anything to do with Frozen.
Yes.
Okay, that's why then. Okay.
That's why. Yeah. Amazing.
Solid. That's a tight reason, that one.
Right,
that's
we
tight.
nailed it.
That's airtight.
Okay.
Airtight.
Coming this Christmas, I give you Coming This Christmas, Volume 1, featuring We Wish You a Naughty Listmas.
Okay. Mistletoe and Crime.
And Frosting the Snowmans.
Frosting the Snowmans. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
guys.
Christmas, everyone.
If you guys would like to contact us, you can find us on Twitter at ComingThisPod. You can find us on Facebook at Coming This Summer Podcast. You can subscribe to us on Podbean, which is comingthissummer.podbean.com, or you can subscribe to us on iTunes, which is just type in Coming This Summer. You could leave us a review as well, just to let us know how you think we're doing, whether we should keep doing it anymore. That would be very nice. Thank you. Bye.